Sorry. Good morning, y'all. I don't think I was in my hair. Okay. Good morning. Happy Monday. I don't know what I got going on here. Anyway, um, ooh, anyway, good morning. Happy Monday. Oh, Lord. And welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk About Life podcast. I am your girl, Sheena. Y'all, I missed y'all last week. Your girl was fighting off the sickness, whatever this little cold or whatever it is that's been going around. It tried to catch me in the chokehold, I'm gonna say, on top of me trying to make some little stupid dessert recipe I seen offline, which pretty much showed me how much them daggone people be lying on. The people be lying on social media. I guess after I keep looking out the window, y'all. I'm sorry. I guess when you recording and you making something, everybody ain't gonna be honest and be like, "Oh, absolutely not. This is disgusting." And what I made, it was this little spice cake, apple caramel kind of thing. It was absolutely disgusting, and it made me sick to my stomach. And probably because it was so sweet, it made me have hot flashes and everything. So by the time I finished dealing with that, I was trying to come down with a little piece of cold or whatever, and I just did not have it in me to do any recording last week. But here I is, and mm, y'all started putting this little Maxwell House. I guess it's supposed to almost be like instant coffee, but not like the not the regular coffee grounds. It's like a French vanilla cafe kind of situation. Something my mama used to drink when I was growing up, and it has added some really nice flavor to my Folgers and my sweet and creamy cream. Okay, and my little maple syrup. But anyway, because I got to make this quick because you girl got to get on the clock in about 20 minutes. What I wanted to talk about today was meeting people where they are. Um, I had a conversation with my son on, I don't know if it was Friday. It might have been Friday. But what I'm gonna say is for the first time in a long time, as we were talking, um, I actually heard what he was saying and wasn't busy being caught up in what I wanted him to say or what I thought he should have been saying. Um, and don't get me wrong, the conversation that we were having, trust and believe I would have liked for what he was saying to be something different, right? But it was one of those things where I remember at one point when he was talking, I kept saying, I mean, I don't even really know. I don't really know what to say because I don't want to make this situation better or well, not better, but I don't want to make it any worse. I also didn't want him to clam up. Um, my sons and I, we talk about a lot of things, right? We have a lot of different conversations and things like that. But it ain't always what I feel like. Like one of the things I always tell them both is, you be talking to me to death about this, that, and the third, and then the stuff that you're supposed to tell me, you don't even tell me. And this was a prime example of what is that? This was a prime example of us kind of having that kind of a conversation. One that kind of started like, when they be like, well, it's not that I don't want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. Excuse me. And me being the mom, of course, I'm like, well, what better time is there than to talk about it now? Um, but yeah, based off the conversation, once we finished, we had a good conversation. Like I said, I I kind of took myself out of it and kind of assessed the situation, almost like what I would do at work, which that's something I tell my people at work all the time. Stop taking everything personal. Stop making everything about you. Take yourself out of it and approach it from a different perspective, right? And so what I was able to do is not be like, now I don't understand why you can't do this and why is it like that and you should have been okay. It don't matter what it should have, could have, would have been, right? All that matters is where we are, right? And that's what I mean by meeting somebody where they are. So I was able to sit back and go, okay, like I would do for somebody I don't care about. You got this choice and this choice. I'm very good at kind of like taking somebody's situation, assessing it, and then go, okay, boom. Because sometimes, sometimes when you're going through something personally, you can't necessarily think of what you should do. So I'm like, okay, boom. This is essentially what you need to do right now to be able to move forward in a positive manner. These are your two choices, and you need to just kind of pick whichever one you're going to do, and you need to move forward. So I left that conversation, one, appreciative that he had finally opened up to me and gave me some truth that there's a part of me um that would want to say that he should have been shared with me, but it's never too late. And so um in me being able to sit aside the expectations that I have for him, and focus on what I think he should be doing, or how I think his life should be going, or how much potential I see him to do this, that, and the third. For once, I was able, like I said, to meet him where he was. I took what he said at face value. I understood that that's what it was, and I was able to not only give him a plan to move forward and be successful in what he's trying to do. Um, since then, he's even been forthcoming on like, look, Mom, I know I said this, but it looked like this didn't happen, or I know I'm not supposed to be doing this for the next 2 weeks, but it's looking like it's going to be my only option, to even give me the opportunity to say, well, you know what? Let me help you, right? Because that's what I've been saying. How can I help you? How can I help you? Let me help you. How can I help you? But I think, to be honest, the expectations that I was putting on him, the fact that my ears were closed and all I could hear was what my expectations were, what I wanted him to be doing and how I wanted him to be doing it. Um, we won't get nowhere, right? So I was actually telling a coworker, like I wasn't telling her, what we were talking about, anything, because that's me and his business. But mm, y'all, this coffee. Anyway, I was very proud of myself. One, it ain't about me, but I was proud of myself to be able to just say, okay, girl, listen to what the boy is saying, understand where he's coming from, and then help him like you said you've been saying you want to help him all along. Actually help him. Actually help him in a way that he needs, not in the way that you want to help him. Because I'm famous for that. I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna help you how I want to help you. But that just doesn't always work, right? And that can actually that really goes for any part of life, right? Another situation where that has been near and dear to my heart has been with my mom, right? Um, Anybody who knows me knows and can probably tell that my mama did not raise no fool. She was very strict with us. She was very old school. My mom is older. She was very old school with us. She taught us all of the things that we needed to know. And I'll be honest, based off of the way that she raised us, based off of who she was when we were growing up in our impressionable years, um, I felt like I felt like my mama was one of those people who, like, I don't know, she did what she wanted to. She never felt it. It didn't really seem like she didn't have a care in the world. She did what she wanted to. She didn't have a care in the world. She was just always living her best life. She used to always tell us, because life don't owe me nothing. And I feel like I never saw her as a real person, if that makes sense. And it makes more sense to me now because I remember as my kids have gotten older having to tell them like, you know what, yes, I am your mom, right? Um, but I am other things besides a mom. I'm Sheena. I'm a woman. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm all of these things. I'm an actual person with feelings and all of this, and y'all be hurting them all the time. And it's been in these past few years. I think my mama is I am 41, so my mama should be 73. I've really been able to see her not as who I thought she was, not as who I've expected her to be. Um Based off of who she was, like I said, in those impressionable years. None of the things, not as who, how I think she should act, whatever the case might be, right? I've truly been able to, like, now that I'm an adult, um, the conversations that we have, like the dynamic has changed, right? It's not like my mama having to teach me and rear me and help me grow. It's more like, hey child, when I talk to her, hey child, what you up to? And we just sit back and we shoot the bobo, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And it's more like not mother and daughter talking, but two women talking. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking the other day and she was commenting on when me and my sons got baptized. She and my sister were able to come, and my pastor, um, he was just kind of like, "Mama, can you see?" Because the way we were sitting or whatever. She wanted to make sure that she was in a good spot to be able to see us being baptized. And she was like, yeah, whatever. And she said it a couple times, but I really let it sink in this last time that she was saying it really made an impression on me that your pastor took the time to consider me out of everyone and to single me out and make sure that I was good. And she said, because we don't know why I get so emotional. Um, she was like, ain't nobody ever singled me out in a positive way. Ain't nobody ever considered me in my whole entire life. And as I think about that now, that is a powerful statement, right? Um, it's one of those things like, obviously I shared a couple things about my life and just how I felt like, I wasn't considered or I wasn't, taken care of or thought of the way I should have and want nobody really in my corner. But it's one of those things when I talk about like seeing somebody as a real person, for somebody to say at 73 that nobody has ever considered me and nobody has ever singled me out in a powerful way. I mean, singled me out in a positive way, like that just speaks to, yes, this woman is my mom. She has raised me. She has done the best that she can to rear me and help me become the person I am today. But she is just a person. And the same way I could say to my sons, I'm out here just trying to figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. Same thing for her. Right. And that should be super simple, right? But a lot of times I think we as people, um, when it comes to our parents, when it comes to the people around us, really anybody, like I said, we are so busy living within our own minds, with our own expectations, with whatever we think is important, right? Because if you think about it, we're all self-centered. We all thinking about ourselves all day. I'm not saying that you'll never consider nobody, but we're thinking about ourselves. What's gonna be our next move? What do we need to do? This is how we need to do it. Like we're constantly thinking about ourselves. Like we are all the main character in our own TV show, if you will, right? Um, because you're inside your own mind and everything you think of it in a way of how it pertains to you and not how it pertains to the other person, not what they're going through. So like I said, her saying that, and then also since coming here and unpacking things and books and all of that, I recently just went back to my house to get um more of my books because I'm still trying to fill up this bookshelf. And I came across because years ago my mama had gave me all of these books, and I had just threw them on the bookshelf. Some of them I read, some of them I didn't. I came across this little devotional book that she had actually filled out, and this might have been from, I don't even know what year it was, but it was early 2000s or something like that. And in a devotional book, you reading the scripture and you just writing down your own thoughts, right? You just writing down whatever is on your mind, whatever you're going through. And I was reading through it, and it just amazed me. One, to see how similar me and my mama are. Like, I mean, obviously, I know that we're alike because, she raised me and she's put an imprint on me, if you will. But there were so many things. Just reading the things that she was writing, speaking to being broken, speaking to being hurt, speaking to pushing through life and trying to make it and figuring it out, and just thanking the Lord for pushing through and keeping her going and all of that. It was just like I said, it's one of those things where I feel like I see her completely different than I have my whole entire life, which is crazy. I'm 41. And it took me this long, these past few years, to really just start seeing her as the person that she is and meeting her where she is in life, right? And in doing that for me, um, it takes away a lot of judgment that I had over the years. I'll be honest, it there were times when I was younger, and because of certain things that was going on, that I was like, Lord, why did you give me this, mama? Why did you whatever? And mama, I know you're gonna watch this. Hopefully you don't take that personal, because I love you, Chad. Um, but I'm sure we've all said that at some point with one of our parents, both of our parents, whatever the case might be. Why is life like this? Why is, it should have been this, it should have been that. But we forget that our parents be saying the same thing. My mama she was saying the same thing about her mama and her daddy and her life situations. And probably in some ways she still be saying it today, right? Because we all in some ways be wishing like, Lord, why am I still going through this? Why can't you just take this away completely? You know what I'm saying? And all the things, right? Yeah. So again, right? What I am learning, because like I told y'all, being here in this silence, okay? I was jamming to some music earlier, but I don't even listen to the rain no more when I go to bed. I'm just in complete silence, and I love it. But in this time of being able to be so much more introspective, that has been a big lesson that I've been learning, is that I just need to meet people right where they are. One thing I've done over the years is I've always expected me from other people. I feel like because I have had to figure things out, and I can make it work, or I can put two and two together or whatever, and in a quick manner or whatever. I feel like others should be able to do the same thing. Um and again, like I said, what this has done, especially like I said, especially with my son, and the slight change in our dynamic over this past week, and the true brutal honesty that he has been willing to give me, knowing goodness well anytime I can flip the F out. I'm gonna say that. Knowing that I could flip out and completely lose it, because I mean God is working on me, but your girl, I listen, okay? I'm just gonna that's all I'm gonna do. Um I just realized that it is so important to just meet people where they are. And so like my next goal is to kind of incorporate that into work, because I'm gonna tell y'all, these sometimes, not even sometimes, there's a good handful of people that I work with that I have been at my wits end, because I'm just like, why are you even here? Why are you here? Why are you soaking up air? Why are you soaking up a position? I would rather us be shorthanded than to have you in this position and have to talk to you one more time about the same stuff over and over again, right? And as I sit here and think about that, I know this because I'm not meeting them where they are, right? Because regardless of where I think they should be, and regardless of what my expectation is of them, right, they're not there. So I need to rewind and I need to take myself out of it. I need to come from a different angle, a different perspective, if you will, and see if I can help them figure out, right? One, build some trust so maybe we can actually have that conversation, right? So that they can feel comfortable kind of just saying, like, girl, I just don't know what to do and I don't even know who to come to because I feel like everybody trying to write me up and do all the things. Um, I know that I need to sit back. I need to try to meet them where they are and help them find a solution that fits them and not what my expectation is of them. Um, so yeah, y'all, that's it. I know I was kind of rambling. Um, Lesson of the week, we'll say meet people where they are. I know you know what I mean. I know you've been in the situation. Maybe to be honest, maybe you need to meet yourself where you at, right? A lot of times we sit around and we going, like me personally, this gym body that I gotta go to the gym, get back into going to the gym to get, or whatever the case might be, right? A lot of times we have a lot of expectations on ourselves and we expect ourselves to be able to figure things out and make it happen immediately. And maybe that's not the season that God got us in. Maybe we are in that in-between season where we just need to focus on the basics, right? Maybe the one thing that we keep pushing towards that has all of our attention, maybe that's not even what God wants us to be focused on. Maybe he just wants us to be focused on prayer, fasting, and reading the Bible. And everything else outside of that, he maybe that's why we why it sound like that person pulled out and hit somebody's car. I'm tripping. This is why I be in the back of the house. Anyway, but yeah, y'all, that's it. In any situation that you can, meet them where they at, y'all. Like I said, whether it's you and trying to take yourself to the next level, whether it's at work with them folks that you just like, whether it's in your life with your churn and you trying to figure out why they ain't figured it out yet. You know what I'm saying? I guess in that case, remember, girl, it's still something that you ain't figured out. You might that finances you might have that right, um, but it might be other things: irrational fear, bad relationships, gossiping, whatever that you still ain't figured out. So, yeah, lesson of the day: meet people where they at. Meet yourself where you at. Give everybody grace because the Lord continues to give us grace. And we definitely can't expect anybody, we can't expect him to continue to give us grace if we're not out here doing the same, y'all. That's it. I love y'all. I got 2 minutes. Is that 2 minutes? Yeah, I got 2 minutes to go ahead and log on into this daggone computer. Y'all, pray for my strength. I'm not feeling it already. I do like my job, but I do not like to work, if that makes if that makes sense. I do not like working. I don't like being on somebody else's time. I don't like people telling me I got to go to a meeting at this time or scheduling meetings at certain time when they know about it and I'm ready to check out and not even care about it. So again, I'm gonna pray for y'all strength. Y'all pray for mine. Everybody be blessed. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. And I will holler at y'all next time. All right. Bye.